Hey everybody, this is Mega RetroMan, and this is a Q&A. This is my first Q&A video, so I hope this goes well. I have been playing video games since I was 5 years old, so Christmas of 1988, where I received my Nintendo Entertainment System with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. We plugged it into my grandmother's TV and just started playing. I was hooked ever since. I have about, oh boy, if I had to take a guess, I would say I have about 300 games. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PSP, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Wii, GameCube, N64. God, I've got so many games. I don't even keep track of how many I've got. I will say when I was younger, I didn't have that many games compared to now. I had maybe 30 tops, and that was just NES, SNES, and Game Boy. Okay, maybe it was a little over 30, but that's kind of a rough guess. A lot of my games were rented through local video stores, and that kind of got my exposure to a lot of the games that I have now. I guess in a way I am, but I don't like to think of myself as one, because I'm not going around getting this, getting that constantly. If I pick up a game, it's usually about once a month or two. It used to be like a few games a week, but personal bills, I got a car, rent, insurance, phone, the normal stuff. Yeah, I don't see myself as a collector. If I find a game I want and I have the extra money to afford it, then sure, I'll pick it up. But if I don't, then I can't get it. It's that simple. So yes and no. I'd more consider myself a game player and competitive game player. I've actually been asked this question a lot. How do I prepare for tournaments? I practice for hours on end. I find out what game, this place or that place. I find out what the game is, and between the announcement and the actual time of the event, I'm sitting on that game for hours a day. Just practice, just getting good at it. Also finding methods, which thing will work, what won't, what's the most effective tactic, just kind of go from there. But yeah, practice. That's probably the best I can tell you. I've won a few competitions. Some of my biggest competitions were Seattle Retro Gaming Expo's Arcade Armageddon, which is a multi-game competition. I won that back in 2013 and 2015. Kind of fell short in 2014. I didn't compete in 2016 because I was helping run the event, and I chose like half the games for the event, so didn't feel like that was all that fair that I choose the games and then I compete on those games. That doesn't seem fair to me. I've also won some local game store competitions. Tetris was one of them, NES Tetris. I was the only one to break 100,000 in 5 minutes. So, I also won an ice hockey, NES ice hockey. Oh my gosh, that game just ruins your thumbs. Another big competition was the Twin Galaxies NES rematch competition that they did in January 2016, where they did like 10 or 11 video games, or 10 or 11 NES games, NES/Famicom. Some of them I had never played before until that tournament, and a lot of them I had played, and I ended up winning. It was a week-long tournament, and probably one of the toughest tournaments that I've been in, because there's a lot of good players that were scoring really high on a lot of those games. And what they did was they didn't go by points, they went by a percentage. So whoever had the highest score had 100%, which goes towards their points. And then, like, if somebody had, like, say 100,000 for a score, and I had 90,000 for a score, they would get 100%, and I'd get 90%, and that's adding the percentages and creating the sum of those percentages was your total of points. So I had a few first places, I had a few second places, and I had ones where it was just, my placement was just garbage. But I came out in the end and won me a GeForce GTX 980 video card. I think it was a 980. May have been a 970. I don't remember. I sold it because I didn't have a use for it. But it was a good $400 that I got. Oh yeah, there's a lot of places that I want to go. I want to go to the SoCal Retro Expo down in California, Game On Expo in Arizona, Retropalooza in Texas. I'm actually setting up to go to Missouri Game Con in Missouri. Yeah, I just want to go to those places just so I can play in tournaments. I've mainly just stuck around here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle and Portland, Oregon. And I feel like I've already done what I needed to do here, and I really want to expand. And there's also the Retro World Series. They usually hold that in Texas too. God, I really want to do that. I'm working on practicing for the Classic Tetris World Championships in Portland, Oregon. That'll be at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, coming up soon, actually, October 21st through the 23rd. Qualifiers are on the 22nd, and the actual competition is on the 23rd. I've been practicing for months and months on NES Tetris. And the nice thing is I'm actually getting help from a lot of the other Tetris players in that community. So they're helping me out, and it sounds like they want to see me advance into this competition. So I'm really hoping that I get into the top 32. But yeah, there's so many places I want to go. PAX East, definitely. PAX South was considered. Not too sure about it, but yeah, I definitely want to get out of the Pacific Northwest to go play in tournaments. You know what? Honestly, be like Nike. Just do it. If you don't feel comfortable, then okay, don't do it. But you'll never know unless you try. You know, if it's a game you're familiar with, get in on it and see how well you do. If you do well, great. If you don't do well, okay, maybe there's next time. Just sometimes you pick and choose your games. I know there are some games that stores have had that I don't compete in. Like, for instance, GoldenEye 007 for the N64. I won't compete in that. Usually, for local game stores, I tend to compete in games that I know I'll put up a good showing on. So, it's up to you. If you do good, great. If you don't, okay, try again on another tournament. Some competitions or challenges even, are a little different. Sometimes you'll be setting brackets, or some of them you'll have multiple chances. Just it all depends. But definitely jump in on it. If you even have a slight thought of, hey, I think I could play this, then just do it. Just play. You know, don't let yourself stop you. Don't let anybody else stop you. Just go for it. I have about 10, somewhere around there. I don't really keep track anymore. I can mention a few of the game titles. Bucky O'Hare was one of them. I know I can do better on it, but unfortunately, it's whatever. 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge, 1992 Super Nintendo Campus Challenge, and PowerFest 94. Those are probably my biggest ones. Hey Nintendo, hi, right here. Let's see, Ninja Warriors for the Super Nintendo. That's probably one of my favorite games out there, and I have a pretty good score with that. Let's see, I think Ranma Half Hard Battle for fastest completion. Oh boy, I really don't remember. I don't remember what all the games I've got. But I think that about covers it. Oh, Power Instinct, full gameplay for score on the hardest difficulty, and that took me a few tries. God, I can't think of what the other ones are, but those are just some of them. Like I said, my most notable world records are the Nintendo competition games, 91, 92, and 94. God, I'd like to go for 1990, but hitting a 4.5 million is just absurd. I don't know if I could do that. Star Fox, that's hard. Donkey Kong Country competition, I have never tried. I really need to change that. So yeah, probably gonna work on Star Fox some more. I actually have a Sakura Con convention record for the 1990 Nintendo World Championships. I've held it for 2 years now. 2015, I hit a 3.0 million. And then 2016, I hit a 3.6 million, so I have the con record there. But nobody goes there to, to do competitions. They go to SoccerCon for cosplays and anime, which is cool. But I haven't cosplayed. I go for the competitions. Alright guys, that was my first Q&A. If you have any questions for a future Q&A, there's the comment section down below. You can find me on Facebook at Mega RetroMan, and be sure to like that page. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. It's basically a lot of the all the socials. You can find me, like I said, Mega RetroMan, or if you want to join my personal account, I'm Paul Tessie. Feel free to add me. So yeah, if you have any questions, comment section. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and we'll see you again with more videos.